the law of this jungle is as old and as real as the sky. And the wolf that abides will prosper, but a wolf that breaks it will die. You see out here in this jungle, we run it forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. I used to run with the pack, nowadays I run for the pack. Represent from the front to the back, wolves in my heart, my city on the map. I was in the field, you sitting on the bench. See me in the gym, rep till I'm bench. Sweat till I win, that's a victory stench. Yeah, we stay ready for the war, man, I settle in the score. Settle it. Right now I'm with the hype, I ain't in it for the light. I was down on the ground, now I'm up for the fight. I'm on it. Seaside at the dark, now it's into the light. Alpha mode, down for my team. I wake up and I'm chasing a dream. Done dirt, but my crep stay clean. Send for me, view, boy, how you mean? Look at my camp with the verses. Clean sheet in him, and I'm on a verse with. Prize fighter, I'm taking the purses. Death match like your family in hearses. The law of this jungle, we're running forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. You see out here in this jungle, we're running forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack.
A trip to the South Coast, so often so successful for Wolverhampton Wanderers. 3 wins out of the last 3. Can Julian Lopetegui continue it? That man at the front of your picture, just ahead of Ruben Neves, Pedro Neto, returns to the Matchday squad. It's a venue that he has been successful at in recent seasons as well. We'll get to the team news in just a second. I'm Mikey Burrows. Alongside me, the Hall of Famer Andy Thompson, and watching from home is the former Wolves women defender and now, of course, a Wolves employee. Hello, welcome to the club, Claire Aikman. We'll talk about some of your role with Wolves women a little bit later on as we build up to kick off here at St Mary's. We will hear from Ruben Neves, his thoughts on the performance at Liverpool last weekend, and much more discussion, including some tributes from yourselves to João Moutinho as he passed 200 Wolves appearances last weekend. You can send us your thoughts about that and anything else at Mikey Burrows, at Wolves on Twitter. Use the hashtag Wolves Live. Tomo, we come into this game. Tomo is frozen, I think, by the way, on my screen, but we will see if we can sort him out. We can definitely be able to hear him. In fact, let's go to the team news and then we'll try and sort Tomo's camera out in a second. We can see that no Hee-Chan Huang in the starting lineup, having gone off injured last weekend. João Moutinho comes in to start, which may mean a 4-4-2 diamond midfield. We'll talk about that in a second. Pablo Sarabia continues up top with Matheus Cunha. Mario Lemina is fit to face his former side after he too went off against Liverpool. And you can see Craig Dawson, fresh from scoring on debut, is still in the starting lineup. Pedro Neto joining those, including Diego Costa back amongst the substitutes, and João Gomez with a first opportunity to be involved as well. Claire, I'll come to you for thoughts first of all. It's interesting, isn't it? Because he could have gone with Adama Traore. He could have done something different and kind of stayed with the same shape almost, but it suggests that it's going to be a bit of a diamond, or maybe Matheus Nunes plays high like he did against Liverpool, and it's just a 4-3-3.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that one rolls out. I know Nunes kind of drifted onto that left-hand side in the Liverpool game. I don't think he was as effective as he has been probably over the recent weeks, even though it was still a solid performance. So it's finding his best position in that. So I wonder if the diamond formation may give him that freedom to drift and be the front of that diamond. And we'll have Moutinho and obviously Moutinho and Neves in the middle function. And Lemina did such a good job last week of screening and really releasing Ruben Neves. Lots of people have spoken about it, gave Ruben a little bit more freedom to push on. And the third goal was just incredible, wasn't it? So that was just, the icing on the cake last week.
Yeah, there was some really interesting performances. Now, I posted on social media afterwards. I'll get Tomo to chip in whilst we can't quite see him in the minute. We can hear him. About this, the tactical masterclass, really, Tomo, that Julian Lopetegui produced last week. There were so many things that we weren't expecting, and clearly Liverpool weren't, and they didn't really have the answers to it.
No, they didn't. So I just thought that they had too much about themselves last week. I thought the legs on Liverpool, and to get that first goal. I know it was an own goal deflection, but it was the pressure that Wolves were actually putting on them, and that was the thing that was great about last week, was the pressure, the tempo, and the way that they knocked the ball about. I thought that the way that they played in the start of the game, Liverpool couldn't deal with them, and I just think that that's what they've got to do today. They've got to go out against Southampton and just take the game to them.
Yeah, I'm just going to hold a picture of you up there every time you're talking, and then people will be able to see your face anyway. The technology is not great here in the St Mary's press box. We'll try and get that sorted for you in a second. It's just a situation, Claire, where every other time we've won this season, we've gone on to lose straight afterwards. And I know there haven't been that many wins, so it's one of those slightly strange statistics, but they have to make sure, don't they, that they get something out of today.
Yeah, 100%. I think we've got to take something from today's game, haven't we? I think we'd love the 3 points, but equally, I think a point would be a solid point, given that then we move on to Bournemouth next week. So I think the expectation levels will be quite high, and I do think the camp, they're just full of confidence at the moment, aren't they? You can really see it, you can feel it. There's an absolute buzz in the air from fans to workforce to coaching staff, and I think exactly as you just said, I think I'm loving Lopetegui, the way that he makes changes, and he's so aggressive almost in the fact that he'll throw two on, and he doesn't hold back in that format. And I think a lot of people probably thought he'd go to Podence first when Juan came off, but Adama Traore was incredible, and he had a solid impact on the game. Two fantastic deliveries into the box should have resulted in 2 goals. Obviously, we got the one through Ruben Neves, and Jimenez possibly should have done better with the chance that he had. But it was just great to see that positivity from us and the real buzz around the squad, and it was clear for everybody. Everybody enjoyed it. I mean, the standing ovation at the end was just something else.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've had anything like that. You mentioned Daniel Podence. He's not involved in the squad today. On the bench is Daniel Bentley, Nathan Collins, Pedro Neto, Raul Jimenez, Johnny, Diego Costa, João Gomez, Adama Traore, and Hugo Bueno. We know he's kind of been nursing this knock that he's had for quite a while. That is probably the reason, though I don't know that for definite. You would imagine that is the reason why he's not included in the Matchday squad today, because otherwise you would have presumed he would be, given the way he has performed so far this season. So we'll talk about the midfield specifically in a second. We'll hear from Ruben Neves very shortly, but before we do that, let's take a look back on what was a memorable day at Molineux last weekend. Hee-Chan Wang, good ball to find Sarabia with a low effort and just wide of the left-hand post. Sarabia will look back infield for support. Plays a 1-2 with Neves. Now with his orange boots, lifts it forwards. It's a good run into the penalty area, and it's pulled across, and it's it over the line. Yeah. Referee's checking it in. Yes. It's in. Wow. Wolves lead. Hee-Chan Wang will get the credit. Liverpool's defensive line on the edge of the box might come to Cunha, right inside of the penalty area by the byline, tries to lift it into the danger zone. Heading goal was by Kilman, smashed in! It's a debut goal for Craig Dawson! Welcome to Wolverhampton Wanderers! Wolves in an incredible position, leading by 2-0, but Semedo's dispossessed. Thiago with an early one on. Darwin Núñez into the penalty area, brilliant save by Jose Sarr. Early ball, Mateus giving chase. Mateus sealing it for Matip! Good save by Alisson. Sliding challenge comes in from Basic. Gakpo down the Liverpool left, up towards the corner of the area. With a short ball in, it comes to Núñez. Pulled back, Naby Keita with time, strikes it and blocked on the edge of the line and somehow scrambled away.
Yes. Oh, what defended.
Long ball downfield, Darwin Núñez in behind, it went over the top of Kilman, and it's a big save by Jose Sarr. Joe Gomez, Moutinho, so close to stealing it. Really good challenge, he's got it now, and Adama Traore set off, and Moutinho trying to find him. Traore racing out to the right hand side, needs support to arrive in the penalty area, pulls it back, it's Ruben Neves! Ruben Neves! Ruben Neves! What a moment from the captain! All the pressure that's been applied has suddenly been released.
Brilliant. What a first touch. That goal is all about his first touch.
A classic Wolves combination. Moutinho, Traore, Neves.
Ruben, the dressing room must be absolutely bouncing after that. How are you feeling now?
Yeah, we were really happy. It was a really special game for us, with our fans here as well, giving everything to us as well, a lot of support. We felt like they were our extra player today. Unfortunately, we achieved 3 really important points for us.
You can feel from the first minute of the game that the atmosphere inside Moutinho was just on another level today. It was bouncing, it was electric. Do you feel then that that made a real impact from the get-go?
Yeah, of course. I always speak about that. When our fans are on their best, it's really hard to play at Moutinho. Everyone knows that, and of course we felt it since the first minute that they'll be with us, and we'll make Liverpool life really hard today. Like I told you, really special game for us because, as we always say, we are not thinking game by game. It's everything. Every single game is a final for us, and to win a final against Liverpool is not easy. So we are really happy, really proud of our work. But now we just want to build the next one and to think on the next game.
Would you say that today was the biggest win of the season so far?
Well, I don't think so, to be honest. I think every single win from now on will be really important, will be key for us. So it was one more win. It was a really special win, of course. To win against Liverpool 3-0 is not easy. Like I told you, but like I told you as well, every single game is a final. So I think the most important game will be always the next one.
Well, we've got to talk about your goal as well. It was absolutely beautiful, right in front of the South Bank. We know how much celebrating in front of the South Bank is amazing. You've scored 5 so far this season, but is that your favourite?
Yeah, maybe this is my favourite one. Against a big team like Liverpool, of course, in the second half they were pushing a lot. We were under pressure, even winning 2-0. They had a few chances that we saved them really well. So fair play as well to Sa, to our defenders. Everyone did a fantastic job because when you needed to suffer, we suffered together and we didn't concede. Clean sheet against Liverpool is massive. And then of course it was an important goal to just close the match and to give the win to us. So it was a really good goal for me, for the team and for the fans as well.
Of course, that second goal came from Craig Dawson, scoring on his debut. Has he said at all, is that like a dream debut? I mean, I'm sure he must be so pleased with being able to sort of score here.
Yeah, he's really happy, and everyone is really happy with the new players. That was the main target of the club, getting new players to help us, and they are showing every single day on the training sessions that they are really good for the team, and they are really important. So it was really important for us that Craig plays really well. He scored a goal, Mario as well, Pablo did a fantastic game, Cunha as well. So every single player that is coming to help, and they're coming really motivated to help the team. So it's really good for us as a team to feel that with the new players and for the fans as well, because they know they are here to help the club.
Well, that was back-to-back home league wins. We're seeing those points now coming on the table that are all very important. Is the mood now one of optimism for the rest of the season? Is it a very positive mood in the dressing room?
We try to build that mood since the gaffer rise. On that small pre-season that we had, we tried to change our mentality to a win mentality, that we want to win every single game from now on, and that's what we are doing. We are fighting every single match as it's the last match of our lives. And that's our main target, to just keep working really hard during the week and arrive to the match. Doesn't matter where we play, doesn't matter against who we play, but we'll try to win the match. We'll give everything to get the 3 points, and that's our main target.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Ruben.
You.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we are live at St Mary's on Matchday Live. Tomo's having all sorts of issues. He's nearly just dropped his laptop. And considering one of us spent most of last night in A&E, suddenly I'm not the one having the worst weekend anymore.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
We'll try and sort him out in a second, even if he has to kind of come and hover behind me to try and get on camera here. Claire, one of the things that we need to talk about is Ruben Neves and the way the midfield worked last week, especially considering it's obviously the key focal point today. One of the things that really stood out, we mentioned it a moment ago, about Mario Lemina being that deeper player and allowing and releasing Neves to make the run. I mean, he's only scored, I think, 4 Wolves goals in the penalty area that are not penalties. And seeing him make that run was reminiscent of stuff he did in the Championship, and really makes you kind of think of, have we wasted him for 3-4 years in making him the deep-lying player? I mean, he's a sensational deep-lying player, but he's clearly got so much to his game.
Well, he can do it all, can't he? And he just keeps showing us, which is just fantastic. We're so lucky to have him. I think, lots of us thought that he might not be here this season. So the fact that we're still watching him is just something else. But I think against Liverpool in particular, we just saw a different side to his game. I think in the first half, he broke through into the box with a real driving run to try and get in the end of a cross. And it was great to see that he probably feels a little bit less pressure on the defensive side of his game, and maybe he can get more involved going forward, which would, be great to see him impact in that respect. But I think Lemina, his strength, athleticism, the way that he breaks up the play. I mean, if you look at his stats, goals isn't necessarily a major part of his game, but the defensive side of his game is clearly what he's very good at. He's got a real presence, and he was just everywhere. He covered every blade of grass. He kept popping up and breaking up the play and really passing it on to somebody else to go and do some more damage, which was, brilliant. And it was great to see him have the plaudits. And we know Ruben Neves has been incredible across the whole season. I don't think he's faltered at any point, really. He's been that solid person, our go-to man of the match, probably. But it was great to see somebody else, take the handle of the midfield and really take the game to Liverpool.
Yeah, and within it, Claire, this slightly different use of Matheus Nunes. He was very high, and he may well end up being very high again today. So, I mean, today might be the marker as to whether that was a tactic just for Trent Alexander-Arnold, or whether that's a longer-term thing. What did you make of that move and how he was involved in the game?
Yeah, I thought we've seen lots of different sides of Nunes, haven't we? I think he was held back at the start of the season, but I think since Lopetegui's come in, we've seen, a lot more from him. He's so comfortable and composed on the ball, and I think that's the one thing that's fantastic for us and really gets us playing in that position. But I think against Liverpool, we did see him sort of drift out onto the left-hand side. I don't think he had masses of impact, but I think, like you say, I think he did have an impact on Trent Alexander-Arnold playing out and limiting his involvement in the game. So I think there's just tactics to everything. I think every game is looked at in, with a fine-tooth comb in terms of the impact each player can have. And I know that Lopetegui's very much spoken that players will play in certain games. They might come out. They might come back in for certain reasons, for specific tactics that he wants to implement on the game. But I do think him in that final third, his impact in that will be interesting today. I know that Southampton play with 2 very lively wingers, which might well occupy our fullbacks, which might mean that extra midfielder we'll need in there to kind of go and do a little bit of protection with Lemina, but hopefully release Nunes to be that forward one to join in with the front two.
If we're talking about midfielders, of course, we can't forget last weekend marked 200 games for 5'7" of football heaven. Moutinho 200 matches, Claire, is, I mean, I posted on a social media chat last night about just, it's been a privilege to watch him these last couple of years. And I think we're all kind of accepting that this is probably the end now for this rest of part of the season, that he signed that 1 extra year deal. Probably unlikely, given the way things are moving, that he'll be here beyond this. So you kind of just have to enjoy him while he's here. And as we saw with that tackle and pass for Traore leading up to Neves' goal, he still has contributions to make.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the impact that he did have was excellent. It really did calm everything down, because I think we were in a bit of a panic when he came on. We were still riding a little bit of a Liverpool storm. And I think it's always interesting. I think some people, you hear little whispers occasionally like, oh, what are we bringing Moutinho on for? What's he going to do? He's probably past it now. He's absolutely not, is he? He's ridiculously good. He's classy as ever. He has an impact on games. He controls the ball. He's calm. The tackle that led to releasing, with a great ball, by the way, to release Traore as well. So a ridiculous win of the ball where he should have never won it. Brilliant ball into Traore, which ended up with a fantastic finish from Ruben Neves. That's kind of what he brings to the game. And I imagine, being one of the most experienced players that we do have within the squad, that he's massive in that camp to, keep that positive energy, real help some of our younger players as well. And like you said, it's been an absolute privilege to watch him. He's an absolute Portuguese legend. When I go on holiday to Portugal, it's the one person we always talk about on repeat. He's like Neves and Moutinho. They're like, he's the best player. He's an absolute legend over there, and it's been unreal to watch him in a Wolves shirt.
He's a legend here as well, absolutely. We'll talk a little bit more about this game specifically. We'll talk about Wolves women as well in just a second. But let's take a look back at one of our recent victories here, and boy, was it a dramatic one.
Ward-Prowse swinging it right-footed, comes all the way through to the far post, cut in! Oh no, Jan Bednarek at the far post, right-footed. Wide for Armstrong, Johnny trying to get a foot to it, Armstrong's kept it in, played it down the line for Cedric, who turns and crosses, headed goalwards and headed in by Shane Long. It's the former Albion man who doubles Southampton's advantage. Dendonker's ball down the line. Jimenez trying to get control of it. Traore will take it forwards. Traore away from Bednarek. Now trying to deliver his cross in. Neto trying to bring it down on his right foot. Gets Wolves back in the game. 6 yards out. Pedro Neto makes no mistake. Southampton 2, Wolves 1. And the old gold have a lifeline on the south coast. Thrown in quickly to Traore. Nice little spin from him, turning in field, driving on, finding Neto. Jimenez trying to make a run through. Johnny is forwards. Johnny taken down in the area. Wolves appealing. It's given us a corner.
Oh.
Nuno is furious. And he wipes out Johnny. Yeah, penalty.
Yeah.
VAR overturn. 64 minutes has been played at St Mary's. Raul Jimenez standing straight inside the D. Referee blows his whistle. Couple of steps to his left. Now a couple of short ones. Steps up. Sends the keeper the wrong way. Raul Jimenez strikes. And Wolves from 2-0 down are back to 2-2. Traore trying to hold off this man. Jimenez will get it. Jimenez trying to set Traore away. Flag has stayed down against the Adama Traore. Into the penalty area he goes. Traore trying to check back onto his left foot. Pulling it back for Jimenez! Raul Jimenez into the bottom corner. What a stunning comeback this has been. Wolves from 2-0 down at the break. Now lead by 3 goals to 2.
He's aware that 1 in 8,333 make the cut, and so he's thinking about scoring while he's lacing up. He made sure he ate good and got his 8 hours in. The gaffer told him just focus, and you'll do nothing but win. And even though the things on Snap kept on buzzing down his phone, he had a little peeky swipe right, but he made sure he left them alone. It's no distractions, I've got to keep that hunger and focus. Check my kickback twice and remove that chip off my shoulders. Can't be late, I'm trying to be the first one to the ground. Headphones in, I'm vibing, bucking, listening to SR and Pounds, thinking it's nerves. But then I think, some of these man just talk enough. Take it easy, and don't go too intense on the warm-up. Man like Kai, quick firms, but you know he's gonna be marking me. I can't get caught flat-footed. and he knows just how sharp I'll be. Match scenario, 1 inch of space, and then I'm in there. Quick 1, 2, boom, first goal, that's me. Get in there, but calm down. I gotta keep myself composed, and I can't get too gassed, because it wasn't the cleanest of goals. I need another. To go first team, I have to make a statement. Remember, talent can only take you so far. It's the hard work that sticks out blatant. You know Ryan's got a ping on him, so when he gets it, you're gone. If they coming short for the ball, then drop the shoulder, race on. Are you a speedy one, bro? Is the defender kinda slow? And if so, it's all about that first touch towards the goal. Because if it's dead, then you're given time to make up the ground. And if it's good, you hit the back of the net, make that beautiful sound. The gaffer's watching, he's making notes, and then you see his assistant walk up. He tells you that they're impressed, and that you've earned yourself a call up. Then he says, wait, before you even think about making the team, make sure you go home and get those dirty boots clean. Man, this is nuts, I'm shaking. Wait till I tell my mum and the bros. I'm gassed, I've been grafting for this, but still kinda mad I've been chose. Crazy, anticipation. Use all the emotions to feed desire and fuel performance. Tell your boys you're locked tough, and tomorrow's game is enormous. Match day, you're in the tunnel. Put yourself at the back of the line. Close your eyes for a second. When you open them again, it's your time. Wolves, next gen.
It's Wolves TV Matchday Live, and we don't always just focus on the men's first team. There is plenty to discuss around the football club, and it has been another successful season so far for Wolves women.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem been petty. Gotta keep on chugging. Ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke been heavy. Got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that. It's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up. I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're in hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities that never come unless you paying attention. So no, I can't miss that. Moving. MVP, I got the record. I might have to prove something. Big jumper worthy. They gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming. Had to work something cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans. Partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking even no wins. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice. I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year.
Should mention, by the way, that you've got to love the fact that we finally got Tomo's camera working, and not going to talk to him for the next couple of minutes because we just want to hear from Claire about Wolves women. There was a huge crowd at the FA Cup game the other week, Claire. A real kind of step forwards for what you and everyone at Wolves women are trying to do. Just give us a flavour of what it's been like the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, the build-up to the West Ham game in the FA Cup was incredible. It was, we had everyone across the club was working on it really hard. So we had the media team massively involved, as well as the marketing department as well. So it was kind of one of them games that we were going for a maximum push for. We got loads of the academy boys in, academy girls as well. So we were really pleased with how it went, and the girls more than competed on the pitch as well. I think that was the one thing that really stood out from all the fixtures. I think we were the fifth highest attendance of the day, behind like Chelsea and Arsenal and other WSL teams basically. So we had our biggest crowd outside of the a game that we've had at Molineux. So we had 1,692, which was incredible. Exceeded all our expectations, but it was fantastic to see. Obviously, since moving out to Telford, it was always a concern to whether people would travel, and they really did, and it was a fantastic atmosphere there as well.
Yeah, and as we've just seen, like the performances, the standard has maintained from last season when they were runaway at the top of the table, and I know it's a frustration to many, including Dan McNamara, about the fact there's only one promotion place, but it's showing that Wolves are above the level that they're currently at.
Yeah, definitely, and I think the fact that we're top of, operating towards the top of tier 3, which is like a really good standard, is what I would say. You've got obviously WSL tier is professional, below it semi-professional to professional in the championship, and we're kind of just sitting outside of that zone. And all of our players have day jobs. They're students, or some are teachers and prison officers and whatever else. So like the fact that they come in to train, commit everything to Wolves women is just fantastic. And I think operating in second position at the moment, which I think is, tough for us. We need to finish top position to go back into a playoff situation, the same as last year. So it's a tough one for us all to take, really. But I think it's also just showing how well things are going, that we've managed to stay where we are and really push at the top of the league.
And a big game tomorrow?
Yeah, really big game. So it's first versus second tomorrow. So we're second, as I just mentioned. Nottingham Forest are top. They're 6 points clear, but we've got a game in hand on them. So 3 points tomorrow could be really key. And this season is definitely far from over. We've just signed Nina Wilson from Sheffield, who's a championship level goalkeeper. We've got multiple other fantastic players that are still operating within that squad with championship experience as well. So anyone that's free tomorrow that wants to make their way down to Telford would be great to see you down there. It's 2 o'clock kickoff at AFC Telford, and we're playing Nottingham Forest. So a really great opportunity for some great level of women's football.
And people can just pay on the gate, I take it, as well. And I know there are other offers, that details are at wolves.co.uk, but if people just want to turn up, they can get in.
Yeah, it's pay on the gate. It's buy tickets online, which is still there. It's Wolves season ticket holders and Telford season ticket holders free. So, as many people as we can get in as possible. And if the girls, boys, whoever's come along sticks around afterwards, they'll get lots of autographs from the girls as well. So it's a really great setup there at Telford, and it's been great to see Wolves women playing there and doing so well this season.
I just want to let people know, I say Tomo's been having all these technical difficulties so far. Look, his camera's frozen, and it looks like we put him to sleep, Claire. Look at him. I mean, what an image.
How rude, Tomo.
He was just talking about his knee again, wasn't he? That's what it was.
Unbelievable scenes. We'll get Tomo squeezed into the camera here in just a second, so people can see him, because let's face it, he's the attraction. We're just the backup dancers in this type of act. We'll hear from Julian Lopetegui after this.
Do you have what it takes? It's the strategy, the discipline, the anticipation, the defeats, the victories, the people who get it, the people who don't. We are Wolves Women, and we are their official FX trading partner.
And looking at the football, so after the Liverpool win, do you feel like the players have got a bit more belief since that win, and with the performance as well?
No, I think that the players believe for the first minute, and they have to continue believing, because it's going to be, I repeat a lot, but it's true. It's going to be a hard and very long race, so we have to be ready for the good moments, for the bad moments. We are going to have all the kind of situation, and this is to compete, to be able to for all, and to be ready for all. So now we are thinking 100%. After the finish of the Liverpool match, thinking about Southampton, that is for me, it's a very good team. They have a very good players, a good coach. Maybe in a lot of matches they can be a little bit unlucky, because they deserve more, in my opinion. And now they have improved the squad with a very good signing. So they were a very good team, and now it's a best team. So the demanding for tomorrow is going to be very high for us, sure.
Wolverhampton is a proud and diverse city, proud of its history and proud of its people. When times are tough and life is challenging, Wolverhampton stands together. At Wolves Foundation, we are the heartbeat of the community. We support thousands of people across the city of all ages and abilities. Half of the people we work with are from areas among the most deprived 10% in the country. We encourage people to become healthier and more active. 92% of our participants have improved their mental and physical well-being. We develop lifelong learning and skills. 90% of our participants have improved their educational achievement. We work hard to build safe, strong, and active communities. 84% of our participants feel they have contributed to a safer, stronger, and more inclusive community. Football is such a powerful sport, which brings us together and drives us forward. At Wolves Foundation, we are proud of our work and proud of our impact. Creating opportunities and changing lives.
There he is.
Hello,
Is it,
Michael.
Claire?
There we are.
Unbelievable scene.
He just wanted a cuddle, that's all it was.
So let's get a quick thought from both of you. Tomo, you can go first, seeing as you had to be quiet for the majority of this. What are you expecting today, and who do you think is going to stand out?
Well, I'm hoping they're going to be as positive as they were last week. The way that they went to Liverpool and put pressure on them. There's an opportunity here for Wolves, especially today with the under pressure manager, confidence of Southampton. So the confidence that we've got from the last two games and results. So I'm hoping that we're going to be pushing forward and making sure that we make it as difficult as we can for Southampton. Because if we can just get ourselves in front, I think this crowd at Southampton will turn and put pressure or more pressure on their team and manager. So look, I'm hoping that we're going to start to push on and make sure we make it as difficult as possible. I just think Nunes in that midfield area is so important to us, from running from deep from midfield, who's going to get up with the strikers as well. So look, opportunity for Cunha as well coming in there. So I think today they're going to be the most important players in this team and this run-up. But I was well impressed with everybody in the way that they played, and even the subs coming on last week. Traore contributing as well when he come on. And it's all about that team, but we've got some good players. We've got some important players for us. We just got to go and make sure we put that pressure on Southampton.
So I'm presuming you're going 2-1 as usual?
I'm going to go 2-0, mate.
Oh.
I'm going to go 2-0, especially after the way that we defended as a team last week. I think I'm going to go positive and get rid of that one goal. Just get 2-0.
Claire, what are you saying?
Well, I think it's going to be really interesting today. I think the fact that we've only won one away from home, they've only won one at home. You know, we're not walking into a ground that, you know, has a massive home record. So I think they're there for the taking for me. And I think we've got to go and build on last week's performance and not fall to a defeat after we've won, which is what we've done in every game this season where we've won a game in the league. So I think it's really key we go and get the 3 points today. I think the game, I'd love Cunha to score today. I think it's really important given our track record of strikers scoring. I think it would be great to get him off the mark and get him flying. I think he's lots of positives around his performance, but we just want him to get that goal and get up and running. I think the one thing for me today is just how many attacking options we've got on the bench, and you know, 5 out of 9 attacking options is just
isn't
incredible.
It great? The bench, looking at the bench
we've got cover in every area. Like, you look at where we've got, I've literally written the team sheet out with a backup in every position, which is just me and Mikey. We were at Leeds at the opening game of the season. Our only attacking option was Chem Campbell, you know, so we literally had nowhere to go. You look at the bench when you want to change the game, what were we going to bring on? But this just shows how much we've developed and how much progress we've made. And for me, it's going to be 3-1.
I just think it's been a positive window, though, as well, isn't it?
I'm thinking Pablo Sarabia.
Is that what you think?
Today?
There
that would be the beautiful
Mate,
thing.
I don't care who scores.
We're massively over time. We've got to go. But there's 2 things I want to point out before we go. Tomo has been taking the mick. I tore my knee ligament yesterday. I've been hobbling around. He's saying I've been...
You never said anything, mate.
He's been saying that I've been hobbling around like a pirate. Now it looks like he's the parrot on my shoulder.
We were waiting for one, mate.
And also, there's a real element of kind of the devil and the angel on my shoulder here. With Claire on one side, Tomo on the other. Make up your own mind who's who.
I'll just put you in black and white now, mate. Oh, he can't do that to you, mate, can he?
Sadness. Right, commentary from me and him. is available at wolves.co.uk and via the Wolves app, wherever you are in the world. Claire will give us her thoughts at half-time and full-time. We'll see you there. Don't go anywhere.
See, the law of this jungle is as old and as real as the sky. And the wolf that abides will prosper, but a wolf that breaks it will die. You see, out here in this jungle, we run it forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. I used to run with the pack, nowadays I run for the pack. Represent from the front to the back, balls in my heart, my city and the map. I was in the field, you're sitting on the bench. See me in the gym, rep till I'm bench. Sweat till I win, that's a victory stench. Yeah, we stay ready for the war, man, I settle in the score. Right now I'm with the hype, I ain't in it for the light. I was down on the ground, now I'm up for the fight. Seaside at the dawn, now it's into the light. Out for more, down for my team. I wake up and I'm chasing a dream. Don't dirt, but my crap stay clean. Send for me, rude boy, how you mean? Look at my jump with the verses. Clean sheet in him and I'm on a verse with. Prize fighter, I'm taking the purses. Death match and death, I'm beating hearses. The law of this jungle, we run it forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. You see out here in this jungle, we run it forward and back.